Before we did a couple of books a couple of years ago. One was called Homeless to Billionaire. There's a guy who was 19 years old, he's homeless in Phuket, Thailand. 15 years later, he's worth $3 billion. And then I wrote another book, I looked forward to another book later called The Billionaire Secret. A friend of mine interviewed 31 billionaires and looked to see what was common among all of them. And some of the things I'm going to share with you were common among all of them. I'll share one of them right off the bat. If you're not meditating right now, become a meditator. Now, meditation doesn't have to be 2 hours, sitting cross-legged in the chair. It could be 3 minutes. But the point is, you can go to YouTube, type in meditation. There'll be all kinds of meditation techniques. You can listen to them with your eyes closed, be guided through it. What it's going to do is going to help relax you and open up your channels for intuitive guidance, where you're going to get better decisions. You're going to get downloads of things you can attend to that perhaps you're ignoring. You're going to get intuitive insights as to next steps you need to be taking that perhaps you're not thinking of, and also better solutions to problems than sometimes our just cognitive brain can come up with. There was an 81-year-old guy in China who literally makes more windshields than any company in the world, and he meditates. He reads for an hour a day. He exercises for 30 minutes a day. Every single billionaire, didn't matter where they were, they got up at 4 in the morning to go on a private jet. They read for an hour, and they meditated for at least 20 minutes, and they exercised for at least 30 minutes, aerobic exercise of some kind to get their energy going. So these are principles that everyone should be doing just for general success in your life. But I want to share a couple of other things with you as well. The big thing for most of us is mindset. And most of us don't pay enough attention to mindset for ourselves and the people we manage. There was a study done at Stanford where they found out, they were looking at what's more important for success, aptitude, meaning our abilities, our talents, our knowledge, or attitude. And they found out that 92% of success was related to attitude and only 8% to aptitude. Obviously, you have to have some skills. You can't be successful. But without the attitude, it worked. Harvard did a similar study, 85% aptitude and 15%, or 85% attitude, 50% aptitude. So again, you're seeing all these studies that talk about mindset. There's a wonderful quote from Muhammad Ali. He says, "Impossible is a big word thrown around by small people who find it easier to live in the world that they've been given than to explore the world, the power they have to change it better." He said, impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. And then he says, I changed impossible to I'm possible. I apostrophe am impossible. Sarah Blakely, who is a woman who started something called Spanx. If you have a woman in your life or you are a woman, you know about Spanx. And she started her company, no outside investors, and sold it recently for $1 billion. She's a billionaire now. And when she sold it, she gave everyone in her company $10,000 cash and a ticket for 2 anywhere in the world they wanted to go. A very generous person. But she said, attitude is the most important thing you have as an entrepreneur or a manager or a leader. She said, work on it daily. What does that mean to work on it daily? It means every day you're checking your thoughts. One of the things I teach is to put a little 2x3 post-its around on your computer screen, on your refrigerator door, your mirror. And every time you see one of those, ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? Are my thoughts positive or are they negative? If they're negative, you say cancel, you replace it with a positive thought. Affirmation. If you have a goal, you want to make sure you're affirming it as already achieved. So let's talk about goals, affirmation, visualization. Just we'll over here. I don't want to keep you too long, but I wanted to share this with you. One of the things that's important is to have a goal that transcends the goals you currently set in your life. I want you to become a super achiever. And what I want you to think about for just a moment is imagine that you could achieve anything at all between now and 1 year from now. So it's September of 2024. And if you could achieve anything at all, it would be a major breakthrough. Not like a 5% increase or 10% increase or reducing turnover by 5%, but like maybe having zero turnover, having double your income, double your output, double your project results, whatever. It's something really big. Some of my past students have, had to get Microsoft as a client, publish a book, have a podcast, things like that. But something majorly big for you, whatever that might be, in any area of your life. Could be professional, could also be personal. And I want you to think just for about 15 seconds, if that were true, you could do that, what would it be? What would you take on as a breakthrough goal? Something that if you achieved it, you look back and say, wow, That was an amazing year. I can't believe I did that. So take a second and think about what that would be. Remember, goal has to be measurable. So how many dollars, how many downloads, how many followers, how many clients, how many widgets produced. Divide, what would be your goal? Breakthrough goal. Okay, and I want to encourage you at some point to write that down. We have recent research out of Virginia Tech University that people who write down their goals, so it's written not just in your head, earn 9 times as much money over their life as people who don't. So that alone would be a good reason to do it. Now what I want you to do, you have to have an affirmation for that goal that you're going to say every day. You're going to put it on your mirror, put it on your computer, on your cell phone, your refrigerator, your car dashboard, whatever. And it goes like this: I am so happy and grateful that I am now, and then you fill it in. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now earning X number of dollars a year. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now running a project management team, producing X millions of dollars of results a year. So happy and grateful that I'm now the director of marketing for our company. Whatever that is, you state it, and I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now. You have to have those feelings in there. State it, and then what you do, you close your eyes and you visualize that goal is achieved. So the goal could be, like, the visualization could be, an award dinner where we're handing an award. It could be a recognition, in front of people. It could be a figure in a book that says, this is what you produced. It could be a check written to you for a certain amount. It could be a client saying they're really happy with the job you did. But you visualize as if it's already achieved. What happens when you visualize something as if it's already achieved, your subconscious mind thinks you actually achieved it. And so what happens is creating new neural pathways that basically say, I've already done this. And it gets easier and easier to do it. Your self-esteem goes up, your self-confidence goes up, and you start attracting to you, through the law of attraction, resources, people, ideas, opportunities that will help you achieve that goal. So I really encourage you to do that. It's very important. I want you to do something else for me. I want you to fold your hands like this real quick. So, keep that. And I want you to notice which thumb is on top, your right thumb or your left thumb. And then I want you to unfold your hands, and refold them up one notch, so the other thumb's on top. Don't just move your thumb, but move all the fingers so the other thumb's on top. Notice how that feels. Most of you said it feels awkward, uncomfortable, strange, weird, yucky, doesn't feel natural. So let it go back to the other way. Notice how that feels. You go, it feels better. Now, right there in that little exercise is the reason that most people don't succeed at a high level, is they'd rather be comfortable than uncomfortable. And everything that you're asked to do that's new is going to be outside your comfort zone. Giving a speech, reprimanding an employee, firing somebody, or giving corrective feedback, whatever it might be. If you're having to travel to go somewhere and train some people in another state or country. The reality is that you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. As one of my friends says, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And research shows that if you hold your hands in a still position for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, it stops being uncomfortable. And so the same thing is true with anything you learn to do. As you learn to doing new management skills, new techniques, new communication skills, new problem-solving skills, all the things you're learning to do are going to be outside your comfort zone until they're not. Learning to play the piano, so uncomfortable, so all of a sudden it's easy. So all the things that you're going to read about in the book, The Success Principles, all the things you're going to be asked to do in life, having a mastermind group, having an accountability partner, it's all going to be uncomfortable. But let me have one last thing. I want to talk about taking 100% responsibility for your life, which is the first chapter in the book. The first thing I talk about in any seminar, workshop, or training I do. And that is, take 100% responsibility for your results in your life, in your happiness, your health, relationships, all of that. Notice it doesn't say 99%. I have a chapter in the book called 99% a bitch, 100% a breeze. When you commit to something 100%, like running every morning, you don't have to argue with yourself. Oh, it's snowing today, it's raining out, I don't feel well. It's just a done deal, like brushing your teeth. You don't have an argument with yourself. Whether you should do that every day, you should brush your teeth because you've made that decision. So what I want you to do is say 100% responsibility, meaning I'm not gonna blame my boss, blame the economy, blame my employers, employees, blame the HR department, blame other people. It's out, blaming and complaining is not taking 100% responsibility. So I want you to memorize this little formula. It's called E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. Outcomes are what you're experiencing right now. Everything you're experiencing in life right now is an outcome of how you responded to an earlier event. A conversation you had or failed to have, something you said or you didn't say, something you did. You went to the gym and you worked out, you're healthy. You didn't go to the gym, you watched TV for 3 hours instead, you get a different outcome. So right now, everyone's living in the same world, the same economy, the same political situation, all of that. And yet some people are being very successful, some people not, right? It's not the economy, it's not your spouse, it's not your parents, it's not your employees, it's not your management team, whatever, it's you. And so you can look at any situation, two twins from the same family, one becomes a success, one becomes an alcoholic or drug addict. Why? Same environment, different choices. So literally, what you want to do is realize, if I want a different outcome, I want more money, more impact, more time, more intimacy, more health, more vibrant energy, more cooperation from my staff, more collaboration, whatever it is, I can't keep doing what I'm doing to get more. I have to do something different. And that's going to require you to learn new things, like in my book and other books and other seminars I take. And it's going to require you to get out of your comfort zone. Because we said before, anything new, your brain says, wait, this isn't normal, it might not be safe. Because your subconscious job, if you will, is survival. It wants to keep you alive. But most new things now are not saber-tooth tigers. They're staff meetings and things like that, but we still have that same response. But we have to realize it's okay. Stop scaring ourselves. And here's one final thing. When you find yourself feeling fearful, it means you're going into the future and you're imagining something bad happening. They're going to reject me. They're going to say no. The project's not going to work. I'm going to lose my house. Lose a mortgage, get fired, whatever it is. Why not use that same capacity for imagining to imagine the positive outcome? And then you feel better. And so when you find yourself feeling afraid, ask yourself, what am I imagining is going to happen? And then replace that with something positive. Again, it's you responding to this external stimuli with a negative visualization or a positive visualization. It's still your responsibility. So I encourage you. I literally have people that have tattooed E plus Y equals O to their wrist. I don't necessarily recommend that. But maybe, again, post it, something on the refrigerator, somewhere you're going to see that. I have a number of companies that have that right over the door when you walk into work, reminding people that that's what they need to do. So anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate your honoring me. I appreciate your work. I appreciate the recognition of the value of the work. I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone, totally believe in yourself, empower your employees. I just did a seminar yesterday where I was interviewing a guy from Europe whose company went from 10 million a year to 40 million a year in 1 year. And I asked him why. He said, well, we read your book, sent a couple of people to your training program. They came back. We trained the 200 people we had on staff. We've now got up to 600 people. Everyone gets trained in the success principles. We have 4 seminars a quarter, where a 2-day seminar where we're training them. They're all committed to personal development, and that's why we're successful. So again, use the principles. The principles always work. And again, thank you so much for this honor. Thank you for the award. I wish you all tremendous success as future leaders, future managers, and I know that you have everything it takes to achieve anything you want. All you have to do is put it into action. So thank you very much.